Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. You have to excuse me for wearing my glasses. The transitions, so they change with the light. And yeah, it's quite sunny at the moment, so I have to wear them because I get issues with glare. You can hear me sniffling because this time I don't have a cold, I have hay fever. So there you are. As much as I love being out in nature and being in the park and stuff, I do get hay fever, so there is that. But, you know, it is what it is. It's not too bad at the moment, to be fair. I just get a bit sniffly, my eyes water a little bit, but yes, I have allergies, so what can you do? But yeah, I managed to bring this message a while ago. There's a few things I need to discuss with you guys, but honestly, time has just flown by. I've been pretty busy lately, so yeah, it's not been easy to find a moment to do this, and also I have to do it when I'm instructed to do it, as you know. Yes, so I just got the sun literally beaming on me right now, so I feel like the divine is very much with us, which is awesome. It's literally like the clouds have just parted there and the sun is right there, so it's awesome. Definitely gonna soak up that good energy. But first of all, I just want to say I hope you're all doing well, and I know it's been a while since I checked in with you guys like this, so I hope everything's been okay on your side. I know there's been a lot going on collectively. The energy's been very up and down, especially with these eclipses we just had. We had the new moon eclipse in Aries, and then there was that full moon eclipse in Scorpio, so that doesn't help either in terms of the energy and how potent that really is, and how that has been shifting things for the collective, not just in terms of possibly picking at old wounds and things that, you know, still need looking at in terms of shadow work healing, in terms of, you know, truly being done with the past, but also things that are still currently going on, you know, that perhaps was being concealed in some way. So it's a lot, you know, in terms of energy, it's a lot to process. But either way, I don't think that it's something that is going to be a hindrance. Far from it. I think it's actually incredibly beneficial to kind of roll with that energy, you know, and to do that inner work. And I've certainly had to take some time out for myself where possible to sit with certain insights in my own life, to focus on the areas that I feel like require my attention, you know, in order to be in a more peaceful state overall, especially because, of course, the enemy never sleeps. So there's always energies being thrown at me. There's always people trying to get under my skin. People I know personally, people I don't even know. So there is that. But either way, you know, the important thing is to take it all in your stride. And like I shared in that community post, you know, a lot of the time people just want to get a reaction out of you. So it's best not to feed into it, okay? But to sit with that and see, where is that really coming from? Where is that energy? What is that energy actually centered at? And a lot of the time you'll find that it's a lot of projection. So that's something I kind of wanted to tap into first. I mentioned spiritual narcissism. So what is that? Well, what do we know about narcissism? Narcissism is essentially a very egocentric take on things, okay? It is, you know, if you were to actually look at it from a psychological perspective, and if it was like, you know, for example, if a person was actually diagnosed with a disorder, then it is actually a personality disorder. But aside from that, having just narcissistic traits, it is a very egocentric take on the world. You know, it's all about the self and, you know, essentially playing a specific role, but to the detriment of everyone else around you. So it's very self-serving, but it's also very detrimental to the person themselves. So they often get enjoyment and fulfillment out of breaking others down around them, feeding off of their energies. Like, you know, there is a strong link to psychic vampirism, and that's why, you know, spiritual narcissism is a thing, right? It does exist, because a lot of narcissists do thrive on breaking down others and feeding off of that negative energy to build themselves up, because it comes from a place of severe low confidence, low self-esteem, okay? That's where narcissism is birthed from, a place of severe low confidence and low self-esteem. There's self-worth and identity issues at the core of it. And I am seeing a lot of that, you know. There is a rise in that, unfortunately, because there has been a tremendous amount of psychological warfare waged on the collective. So unfortunately, there are a lot of people who have developed narcissistic traits as a result of the environment they grew up in, the people they've been around, like family members, especially if they had narcissistic parents. People either become extreme empaths, or they can end up being narcissists themselves, or developing some of those traits themselves, right? So it is, there's a lot of that going on, and it is very difficult these days to navigate the challenges around, the fact that we are social creatures, okay? But at the same time, it's hard to truly connect with people who are constantly wearing a mask, and I feel like there is a lot of that. That's why it's my goal, and it's always been my intention to try and be as authentic as I can, and just speak from the heart, even if it doesn't quite make sense, or I don't quite say it in the way I want to say it. I'm just expressing myself, So that's why for me, it's not about wearing masks. It's not about portraying myself to be anything more than I am, but just simply to be here to share a message, and to reveal certain insights that I think is going to be beneficial to you guys, but also, to share little fragments from my story, because I think that's going to help people. Of course, I plan to share a lot more in, a more compiled format, should we say, so I will kind of go into my journey a whole lot more in the future. But as for, the readings and the messages I share, it's more to assist you guys. Like I say, I'm more of a signpost, a guide, if anything, to just help you navigate through these times and help you reclaim your power, and to really embody the energy that you truly walk in, to become the person you're destined to be. Is to empower you, equip you, to support you. That's why I'm doing this, right? And also to help myself, of course, in that I'm sharing some of the things that have been going on with me. There is my own testimony in some of these readings as well, with some of the warfare that I faced and personal attacks and all this sort of thing. So, it serves a dual purpose in that way. But yeah, hopefully you guys do get some benefit from these messages and these readings. So yeah, this is just like a quick check-in, really. And just to mention that, it is important to be incredibly discerning at this time, especially because there is a lot of information that's shared online every single minute. Some of it is from a place of, a well-intended place. Some of it isn't. Some of it is based on good information. Some of it isn't. So it's really important that you use your discernment when you're listening to certain messages, when you're watching certain content, okay? It's really, really important, because not everyone means well, okay? I'm going to say that now. Even some of the readers on here that seemingly want to help, they have their own agendas as well, some of them, unfortunately. And it's not something I really want to discuss, because I don't want to feed that beast, okay? Because there are some great readers on this platform, and, I'm very appreciative of their presence. So they're the people more that I want to focus on. But unfortunately, there are some malaligned characters on here as well that are serving an ulterior motive. So just be mindful with the content you consume. And even with my own readings, if something doesn't sound like it's your situation, just leave it. It's for somebody else. There may be someone else going through that just wants that confirmation or that clarity. It should never be something that doesn't make sense to you that you take on board. Otherwise, how are you even going to apply it? How is that beneficial to you? So always discern every message, even my own messages that go up, discern, is this really for me? Does it make sense? Is this beneficial? If not, then leave it, So that's what I want to say about that. But yeah, just be mindful, I would say, right now, because there's heavy amounts of projection going on. And especially because a lot of people don't like the fact that people are making healthier choices for themselves. And people want, there is so much of a power grab going on right now. This need to be in control and be number one and have people subservient to them. So just be mindful who you're putting on a pedestal as well. Especially when it comes to influencers, celebrities, sort of business moguls, right? gurus, self-help gurus, all of that sort of thing. Just be mindful and question all of it, because yeah, as we know, there's a lot of people taking a serious fall from grace right now. And some of these people were well respected, you know, people that, you know, it's shocking to hear some of these things about. So that's why I would say never put anybody on a pedestal, okay? See them as your equal. See them as someone who is also learning through experience. And also be aware that some people, like I said, wear a very good mask. So just be aware of that. Yeah, anyway, this was just a quick message. Just to kind of tap into what's what right now in terms of the energy. But things are, I think, shifting in a very positive direction. It's just, as you know, when the divine's really coming through and that real strong, positive 5D energy comes in, the enemy always tries to retaliate with some kind of backlash. So just being mindful of that. I'm wishing you guys well, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.